Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Ji ayanu pakhera gale ni hao chunashumme washmale. Ohaya gazaimas guten morgen. Hola boyo privyet kaifa hal. Hale shuma chatore. Ahlan wa sahlan marhaba. Buna mucho gracias. Swabi abballi kare aya. Hoj galde danaya saya khuya morachi batochi haljot kali mehra khairutan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside my wonderful colleague who happens to be Miss Eesha Rehan, and I happen to be Shahzad Khan. We hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Eesha, assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, Shahzad, but I think the real question is how are you feeling? And for all the people who are viewing, they know that my co-host Shahzad has been feeling under the weather for the past few days. However, I have a little totka and a little trick for him to try out today.
Go ahead.
It's going to sound a little bizarre, but it came to my mind that I saw a video of a mom actually taking an onion. So what you're going to do is you're going to take an onion and you're going to slice it in half and make sure that it's round so it has its rings. And you don't need to chop it. So you're going to take it and you're going to wrap it at the sole of your feet. You're going to put it at the sole of your foot and you're going to wrap it with any kind of saran wrap or plastic wrap and you're going to fall asleep for the night. And then when you wake up, it hopefully absorbs away all the toxins and you will be feeling great and refreshed.
I hope so. I don't know whether...
It sounds very bizarre.
I never thought that an edible could actually be wrapped around your foot, but I'm going to give it a try and I will let you know tomorrow, inshallah. But ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who's out there, please do not try until I have tried and tested it myself. Other than that, because it's hot weather and since we are in air-conditioned rooms and we go outside, so the weather transition is actually kind of making it difficult for people to... Because once you are in an air-conditioned room, you feel like as if you're comfortable, you go outside, so that temperature change can actually have an impact on you as well. Speaking of which, the weather is actually going to be hot in the Twin Cities from 29 degrees till 39 degrees centigrade is something that we will be witnessing today. Please make sure that you keep yourself hydrated, make sure that you consume a lot of water, probably fruits as well, which actually have or contains a lot of water. For example, watermelon.
For watermelon and melons and a lot of falsas and cherries. So make sure that you stay hydrated and make sure that you consume hydration with a lot of fruity drinks as well. And make sure to stay indoors during peak hours, during peak sunlight hours. Under the blazing sun.
I mean, that's something which I'm not going to recommend. I mean, if you're a progressive nature guy or a girl, please make sure that you keep on doing what you're doing, but just make sure that you take all the precautions.
And wear hats and sunscreen.
It's more like how we say that, kitne burger bache ji, garmi bahut hai, hum bahar nahi ja rahe. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to focus on your job, focus on your work, and whether it's hot or cold or raining, whatever, or you're hungry or sleepy, go and chase your dream.
That was very, very inspiring and motivational. Thank you for saying that. And moving on, we have a lot of upcoming world news that is going along. So what we're going to do is...
You want me to take the lead?
Okay,
I'll take the lead. Thank you so much, Eesha. But ladies and gentlemen, I think the foremost and the most important is Mr. Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir holds a significant and historic meeting with US President Donald Trump and members of his cabinet in White House. This visit reflects the growing global recognition of Pakistan's military leadership and its evolving role in international diplomacy. Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir held a significant and historic meeting with US President Donald Trump and members of his cabinet at the White House. This landmark engagement underscores the growing international recognition of Pakistan's military leadership and its expanding role in global diplomacy.
Alongside the discussions, President Donald Trump hosted a luncheon in honor of Field Marshal Asim Munir, further highlighting the importance of the visit. Diplomatic sources emphasized that the ongoing talks signal enhanced trust and strategic cooperation between the United States and Pakistan, recognizing Pakistan as a pivotal partner in promoting regional and global stability.
In addition to this, the invitation extended to Field Marshal Munir ahead of any Indian delegation reflects Pakistan's rising strategic importance within United States foreign policy considerations. These deliberations are widely interpreted as a strong endorsement of Pakistan's role as a stabilizing force in South Asia.
US President Donald Trump has once again expressed his admiration for Pakistan and its people, calling Pakistanis good people and stating that he likes Pakistan.
He expressed these views while speaking to reporters during a media interaction, Eesha, at the White House. The statement comes amid a growing spotlight on US-Pakistan relations, particularly following Trump's recent praise of Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir for helping avert war with India, who is right now in the United States for an official visit. Wonderful.
And moving on to how Pakistan is shining its name across in sports, and displaying effortlessly how they succeed in sports. Let's talk about the FIH Nations Cup Semifinals. Pakistan secured a spot in the semifinals of the ongoing Nations FIH Hockey Cup in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, based on a global average despite a narrow 3-4 loss to New Zealand. Pakistanis took an early lead with goals from Abdul in the 13th and 14th minutes, followed by a strike from Rana Waheed Ashraf in the 28th minute. However, New Zealand bounced back with a hat-trick from Scott Colsett and goal from Neeswood to turn the game around. Pakistan will face France in the semi-finals.
Exactly, not just that, I think we've got something more coming Pakistan's way as well, bringing a lot of pride to Pakistan. It is the German Asian Individual Squash Championship, where Pakistan's Nasir Iqbal advances to quarterfinals. Pakistan's Nasir Iqbal reached the quarterfinals of the Asian Individual Squash Championship in the pre-quarterfinals of the 23rd Asian Championship being played in Malaysia. Nasir Iqbal defeated Hong Kong's Lai Shuk Nam 3-1.
And Noor Zaman also suffered a 3-game defeat at the hands of the host country, Juhikam Ashwan. Nasir Iqbal won the match from 11-8, 11-15, 2-11 and 11-1. Nasir Iqbal will face Hong Kong's Henry Luang in the quarterfinals of tomorrow. So all this tension is brewing up, and we are seeing and how our sports, how our athletes are shining across Pakistan, and we need to support them and make sure that we keep practicing and encouraging sports in Pakistan.
I think that's great. Thank you so much, Eesha, for such wonderful news that too early in the morning. But I think there's one thing more which I would want to discuss today, or will probably bring attention of people. And that is that since the government has taken over, Alhamdulillah, the Prime Minister Youth Program has been in full control, and they've always made sure that they rely on their 4 pillars. Number 1, obviously, it's going to be education. Number 2, it's employment. Number 3, it's engagement. And number 4 is environment. What is actually happening with Prime Minister Youth Program? How many loans have been given away? The laptop scheme, not just that, the digital youth hub, the first national youth policies in place. We have the focal person over here, and we'll be asking him questions as well. We're very lucky that we have been joined by Mr. Malik RAUF, who happens to be the focal person of Prime Minister Youth Program. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, walaikum assalam. I'm very good, a very good morning to you guys, and I really was enjoying the conversation you guys were having. So I think if you guys continue with that conversation, I would enjoy it more. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We keep on having this conversation, but today the most important conversation is the conversation that we are going to have with you.
I'm honored.
So let's get started with it. For example, right from the conception of the Prime Minister Youth Program to where do we stand today? Let's get started with that, and then we'll build up further.
So basically, let me give you a generic view. The Prime Minister's Youth Program is the youth program that was initiated in 2013. The government of 2013.
Yep.
After the 18th Amendment, while these youth ministries and sports ministries were given to the provinces, the then Prime Minister initiated a youth program, especially for the youth of the country.
True.
This is managed by the PM's office.
All right.
We work on 4 E's, as you guys mentioned: education, employment, environment, and engagement.
True.
Number 1 comes education. And that is the thing that is very close to my heart, along with sports. So we're working on scholarships, we're working on endowment funds, we're working on internships, we're working on student exchange programs, we're working on different kinds of certifications, awards, IT startups, different kinds of startups we're working on. In the part of engagement, we've recently made a National Youth Council of ours. That oath was taken by the Prime Minister. The National Youth Council is the advisory council basically to the Prime Minister that advises the Prime Minister on youth policies and everything. Now, apart from this, we have a National Volunteer Corps. We're going to make that is going to be a generic volunteer corps. An immediately relief volunteer corps that is going to help the people in all ways possible. And then apart from this, we have different awards, innovation awards for people who come up with innovative ideas.
Wonderful.
That we can show up to the world. So we basically have a motto that we, there's a saying that Pakistan has majority of the youth. Some people say it's 64%, some say it's 60%, but my personal view is probably we are above 70%.
And not just that, I think at heart, all of us actually consider ourselves to be
well, I think that came straight from your heart. Yeah. So for that youth, we need to work very seriously.
Yeah.
So we just want to keep the youth engaged in all ways possible. We are gonna launch new schemes for them, new things for them. So I think this is a generic view of the PMs Youth Program, and let me assure you with one thing, our team under the chairmanship of Rana Mashood Ahmed Khan, we're working day and night, honestly. If you could see my dark circles, I don't know if these lights allow you to see them or no, but if you could see my dark circles, we're working day and night.
I do know that for a fact because Rana Sahab himself was on the show, and you know, it was great to be in conversation with him, and he's been really promising, and ever since that he has taken over, we have seen how Pakistan at the forefront of sports is even doing better.
Yeah.
But not just that, I think all of these things will enable our youth to do what they want to do and contribute towards the economic prosperity, not just the economic prosperity, but the goodwill of Pakistan as well. And the only enabling part will be the first ever national youth policy. How do you think it will enable us, and what does it inculcate?
So let me give you a background of the national youth policy. So basically it is known as NAYP, National Adolescent and Youth Policy.
Okay.
All right.
So for the policy, we went all around Pakistan. We started from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. We went to all 4 provinces, we went to AJK, we went to Gilgit, we went to the youth, we went to universities, to colleges, to madrasas, and to the students who are not in education and trainings. So we went to them, we made our surveys. We collected the data from them, now we have a documented data. And we asked them what do they want in the policy. So now the policy that we are going to launch, it is going to be a short policy because the best policy is a short policy.
Okay.
So now we are going to launch a policy that is going to be by the youth, for the youth in literal meanings. So national youth policy is coming, inshallah, and apart from this, I believe there are projects that we can talk on. We can talk on Digital Youth Hub. There are lots of things.
I'm going to come towards Digital Youth Hub and certainly, but I think I have a very simple and a basic question. Now imagine that I think for our youngsters to have an enabling environment, I do remember this incident where this gentleman from a very remote village actually by himself made a helicopter, took a test flight, and he was put behind the bars. And when asked, कि भाईजान मैंने ऐसा क्या गलत किया, हेलीकॉप्टर बनाया खुद से उसको उड़ाया, कहा जी आप नहीं उड़ा सकते. How do you think that we provide them with an enabling environment, because that's one of the pillars of the Prime Minister Youth Program?
So this is what PM's Youth Program is doing. So wherever we get people like this, recently we had a case study. So a guy from KP, he drove a car with the keyboard. Yeah. So things like this, we really endorse them. We call them to our office. We try to give them certification, awards. We try to make them meet the Prime Minister. Whoever in this country that does something innovative, Prime Minister's Youth Program is ready to endorse.
That's so fascinating and encouraging for everyone to hear. So, you know, diving into how the youth development centers and youth hub programs are being conducted, what opportunities are they going to provide to the youth of Pakistan?
So basically, if I talk about the youth hub centers or these things, so we've made our centers throughout universities that are for the engagements. But the main schemes that we have are our loan schemes, our laptop schemes, our loan schemes, our sports talent hunts. So those centers basically try to keep the youth engaged in all ways possible, so that they stay engaged, they can get the opportunities, and they can make themselves successful.
That sounds very motivating and encouraging for everyone as well.
Exactly, not just that. I think most of the times that one of the issues that we came across while we were graduating was to always go to your father or mother or chachu or nanu and ask them to be your angel investors. Now, I think that's one thing that you've always sorted, and that is that you're giving away loans as well. Please, can you explain a bit about that?
So basically the loan scheme program. The loan scheme program, we have agricultural loan scheme programs and we have business loan scheme programs. So we have 3 tiers. Tier 1 is 5 lakh rupees. Tier 2 is 15 lakh rupees. And Tier 3 is 75 lakh rupees, 7.5 million rupees. So we try to give the youth loans, whoever applies for the loan and whoever is on merit for the youth, for the loan, sorry, gets the loan. But my personal opinion and our policy is, or our focus is, that whoever gets loan, they must get into entrepreneurship. They must do something. Instead of wasting the loan, instead of getting the money and wasting them somewhere, they must do some business on it. They must get up with some ideas, some IT startup, anything. Because if they're into some business and they start earning, that is when they'll be able to return it.
True.
And if they waste the money, definitely they are going to curse us for, in the first place.
खुले पैसे मिल गए और उसके बाद वो
Exactly.
कर लिया उन्होंने
They're
जो
going to
करना
curse us at the end of the day that, see, they gave us loan, they're taking it
For
back
all the
from us
people
now.
watching, this is actually such great advice. And can you talk more about how these schemes are really provided in Pakistan, but it's a little hard to access them. So can you talk more about this? Is this process made more easy?
लोन मिल जाता है आराम से.
Is it going to
If
be a
you
difficult
allow me,
process to
I
go?
badly want to, I'm very eager to talk on Digital Youth Hub.
Sure.
So if you allow me, let me start with Digital
let's
Youth Hub.
talk about how the
That is
Digital
going to
Youth
answer
Hub-
many questions.
Exactly.
So what is Digital Youth Hub? So Digital Youth Hub is a platform. You guys must know Facebook. You guys must know Instagram. We all have applications. We all use these applications. So just like these applications, on Apple Store and on Play Store, you can find another application that is launched by the government of Pakistan.
Okay.
That is known as the Digital Youth Hub. So the Digital Youth Hub is a platform in which, under one roof, all the opportunities that are available in Pakistan or out of Pakistan, scholarships, internships, jobs, loan schemes, laptop schemes, for anything that you want to apply, just install the app, log into the app, make a profile, and the most interesting thing is it is AI generated. So once you log into it, you make a profile, AI is going to tell you what opportunities you can get, what opportunities you have, and how you can get facilitated with
Wonderful.
it. So whoever wants to get advantage of anything, just log into Digital Youth Hub and you're going to get
And
a
it's
lot.
so fascinating. It's not only e-commerce, it's freelancing and training opportunities, supporting the digital economy and empowering the youth.
So I
and
think what Rauf
upskilling
Saab
them.
is trying to say is that rather than asking me questions, all you need to do is just download this application and
Just download the
yeah,
application,
very
yeah.
and you will know,
self-sufficient.
and you will know what you need to do.
Exactly.
But I think one of the most amazing things which I came across under the umbrella of Prime Minister Youth Program was the youth development centers, and that's something that I would certainly want to speak about, because established in public sector universities, these centers act as one-stop shops for students, facilitation, providing digital resources for education, research, scholarships, internships, and job possibilities. Go ahead.
Again, we made these centers. We made these centers to facilitate the youth. So the main problem that, as you said, you had while you were a student, that I had while I was a student, and I think that our youth has while we students, career counseling. Career counseling is the main thing that should be included in the coursework, I believe.
Curriculum
Yep.
and everything.
We should have sessions on career counseling while we are at schools, colleges and universities. So we try to facilitate the youth through our centers, through our development centers. We have green youth movements, we have other movements. So we just try to make it easy for the youth so that they in their institutions can have a one-stop, go there, get facilitated. But again, let me come to the Digital Youth Hub, because we've worked very hard on Digital Youth Hub.
Definitely,
So I have to say this again and
We
again.
want to hear more about it.
If a person does not want to go to the center at the
Alright.
university, just
Download
Yeah.
the app.
download the app
Yep.
and you
So
have everything.
simple, so
Yeah,
easy.
wonderful. I mean,
Wonderful.
obviously, certainly, ladies and gentlemen, there's an age barrier as well. It's not for everybody. So please make sure that that you actually come within the zone of being a youngster of Pakistan as well.
And another thing that we had in mind was that we talked about how these schemes are very common, the educational schemes and the loan schemes are very common in Pakistan, which is great. And however, what I really love about this is that it includes volunteerism and also sports, which you emphasized upon. But before we started this conversation, you hinted upon that there's an anti-drugs campaign as well.
So basically, anti-drugs campaign is my personal campaign. For the past few years, I've been working on anti-drugs awareness and anti-drugs rehabilitation. So I was the first and only civilian of Pakistan to start. I was 19 years old when I started
All
that.
right.
How old are you now?
How old do you think I am?
The 29 probably.
Oh my God, I'm 24.
Wonderful.
Wow. And a youth is leading the Pakistan Youth Initiative program.
So we used to go to schools, college, universities, churches, mandirs, masjids, gurdwaras, local communities, jirgas, rallies, jalsas. We've been everywhere with one slogan, that is Nasha Maut Hai. Yeah, and we used to rescue the people, those who were under the bridges, on the roadsides. We used to rescue them. We used to rehabilitate them. And Alhamdulillah, I have thousands of success stories. I have thousands of people that I have saved through counseling, through sessions, through awareness, because we felt that awareness is the main thing. So yeah, Alhamdulillah, I have lots of stories.
You know, that is so fascinating. At just 19, you started this, and you have thousands,
It is
hundreds
only
of
24. You need to learn too.
I need to learn.
You're still a very effective and
Count me
important
in as a
member
volunteer.
of Youth of Pakistan. Now, I think that you've beautifully laid it out as well, and thank you so much, for leading from the front. You happen to be the focal person, Prime Minister Youth Program. Your parents must take a lot of pride in it. We take a lot of pride in you as well for the kind of initiatives that you have taken, and it's wonderful to see. Now, let's talk about how do you think that in days to come we will be able to see the results of all of these initiatives that we have seen. We would want you rather to share success stories out of whatever or hundreds or thousands of cases that you have seen becoming successful because of the initiatives of Prime Minister Youth Program, and share some with our audiences.
So let me take you a bit back, a few years back. Arshad Nadeem.
Yep.
Arshad Nadeem is a product of the then youth program of the current Prime Minister.
True.
When he was the Chief Minister, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif,
Punjab.
he basically had sports talent hunts programs. And Arshad Nadeem is a, I don't know a good word for it, but if I can say a product of Shehbaz Sharif. Arshad Nadeem has done wonders in the world, and now Arshad Nadeem is the pride of Pakistan. People, we have lots of stories. We have lots of stories that people have succeeded in education, in sports, in entrepreneurships, in business, and in every walk of life. So I think the example of Arshad Nadeem is the best example to give right now. And currently you said that the impact, yes, it is going to take time, but I'm sure the impact is going to be very great. It's going to be massive because we're working with honesty. And the response we're getting from the youth, let me be honest with you, the response that we're getting with you, the connectivity that we have with the youth is remarkable.
Wonderful.
It is.
Thank you so much, Roxana, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you, and that's exactly the kind of youth that we would want to see for Pakistan, dependent, and not just that, actually contributing towards the economic prosperity and the development of the country.
Salam hai aapko
bhi, mashallah.
It is an honor for me to have competent hosts like you.
Thank you so much. It will always be an honor for you and for us to actually have you, the youngsters of Pakistan who are developing or making sure that the diaspora of Pakistan really needs to be looked after the way that our Prime Minister is looking after in the name of Prime Minister Youth Program. We're heading out towards a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. There's more of academic and scientific partnership coming your way, and which two countries are shaking hands. Ladies and gentlemen, right after a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Earlier, we were in conversation with the focal person of Prime Minister Youth Program, and it was a very fruitful conversation in terms of what initiatives have been taken by the government under the umbrella of Prime Minister Youth Program and how the youth can actually utilize them. We will certainly be on YouTube as well, so if you missed out on that conversation, please look out for the YouTube link. But there's a very important day which we would want to pay importance. In fact, I think we really need to share it with the rest of the world so that we can actually stop doing that. Now imagine that International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict is being observed today. The day is commemorated every year to mark the date of the unanimous adoption of the first UN Security Council resolution to recognize conflict-related sexual violence as a tactic of war and a threat to international peace and security. In his message, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says sexual violence is a grotesque tactic of war used to brutalize, torture, and repress, scouring bodies, minds, and entire communities. The horror of these heinous crimes echoes long after the guns fall silent. The UN Secretary General urged united action to end the despicable crime, seek justice for survivors, and break the cycle of violence.
And let's move towards a little bit of light news, and that is how new World Guinness records are being broken. The former Olympic sprinter and 15th-time world winner holder Usain Bolt has been officially named a Guinness World Record icon for his achievements in the field of track athletics. Bolt's records include the fastest 100 meters at 9.58 seconds and the fastest 200 meters at 19.19 seconds, both set at the 2009 IAF World Champions in Berlin. How fascinating. Can you imagine running at this speed? Can you imagine running so fast and
everybody
at this
knows
speed?
about Usain Bolt, and Usain Bolt is certainly capable of that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, before going towards the break, we did mention how scientific and academic partnerships are coming in way. How are they coming in way? Please go ahead.
They are coming in way in the collaboration between Pakistan and Bangladesh under the facilitation and hosting of the OIC Standing Committee on Scientific and Technological Cooperation, also known as COMSTECH. Based in Islamabad, a high-level delegation of the Vice Chancellors from Bangladesh are visiting Pakistan, and we are so excited to announce that we are honored to welcome Professor Mr. IQBAL Choudhury, who is the Coordinator General of COMSTECH, and he is the internationally renowned scientist.
I'm really sorry that I'll have to barge in over here, but ladies and gentlemen, first of all, obviously we need to actually introduce our guest who actually came all the way from Bangladesh. We're very lucky that we'll be joined by Professor Dr. Abdul HANNAN Choudhury, Vice Chancellor, North South University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for having me also in the World This Morning program.
Yeah,
thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I'm a little under the weather, so please bear with my coughs as well. Yeah. But alongside him, we're very lucky that we've been joined by Professor Dr. Muhammad IQBAL Choudhury, who happens to be the Coordinator General OIC-COMSTECH. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Thank you very much for inviting us.
And thank you for being here. The Vice Chancellor's delegation is leading the universities in Lahore, Islamabad, which are part of the initiative, and they have signed several MOUs according to academic and scientific corporations. So please enlighten us more about this initiative and what is happening.
You see, Bangladesh and Pakistan are inseparable in terms of history, ideological basis, and many commonalities. And these two countries have more common than any two nations in the world. And therefore, it's extremely important for us to relay.
Sir, I'm really sorry. I'm going to come back to you over here, but we might have a little bit of fault with your mic, which is why my audiences might not be able to hear you. I'm going to quickly come to, Professor Abdul HANNAN Choudhury Sahab. Sir, how do you envision the future of higher education and scientific and technological collaboration between Bangladesh and Pakistan, and are there any specific plans in the pipelines?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking me the question. First of all, we being Bangladeshi, academicians, we are also doing great work in our country. But then again, Pakistan is also very advanced in terms of the education and also technology aspect. I must acknowledge the OIC-driven COMSTECH, led by the Coordinator General IQBAL Choudhury. Dr. IQBAL Choudhury has actually arranged this, coordination and also our arrival to this, country. I would say that, well, there are plenty of things that we can share from us and also from Pakistan. I believe that, well, Pakistan has many things to even give us, and also we have also many things to share with them. The academics are, no matter where do you exist, actually the academics are academics, and I believe that, well, as he was trying to talk about that, well, Bangladesh and Pakistan, in terms of the people and also the citizens, they have lots of memories and shared, experiences and also shared cultures and also our religion. And Bangladesh and Pakistan are actually, one. Bonding is one place, and also we are two different flowers. But we have plenty of things to do in the academia for the upcoming, future, because I believe that, well, Pakistan advances many their science research and other things, and also Bangladesh has also many strengthening factors, and we would actually be able to collaborate with Pakistani and Bangladesh.
And that's wonderful, sir. And such are the collaborations that I think are the need of the time too as well. And people really need to come together wherever someone can contribute. I think we really need to take that part as well and move ahead. But sir, coming back to you, Dr. IQBAL Choudhury, now when we see at the OIC member countries today, they face challenges. For example, let's speak about artificial intelligence, digital transformations. How do you think that we will have an ecosystem which will support it?
It is a very important question, I must say, that OIC in general and Bangladesh and Pakistan together,
All right.
we have a huge population, about 0.5 billion. Majority of them are young people. And the technologies which you mentioned, AI, IoT, they are all youth-centered. And what we are trying to do through OIC-COMSTECH, that we are bringing Bangladeshi institutions and Pakistani institutions together to make sure that these two countries work together for the benefit of our nations, but also for enriching the skill and professions of young people.
That was very beautifully put together. We want to know more about how both of these countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, are going to benefit from this program being initiated. How is higher education going to be impacted?
As Professor HANNAN Choudhury mentioned, that we have many commonalities, but we also have common challenges. We are among the most populous countries in the world. We have serious issues with urban population, rural population, agriculture productivity, climate change, and therefore it is extremely important that we work together to meet these challenges together. That is what we intend to do, and in last 3 days, this very high level delegation has actually signed over 35 MOUs for collaboration as a very historical and significant.
Exactly, but not just that, sir. I think what is more important, and I'll come to you too as well, and that is that to have such a partnership, we really need to see student exchange programs.
Yeah.
Students from here go to Bangladesh, students from Bangladesh come over here as well. How do you think that we will be able to achieve that through this partnership, may it be academic or may it be scientific? And do you think that there will be scholarships offered from both the governments for the students, so that there are reach out programs, so that that the reach of this entire collaboration is more and more in both the countries?
I think you have raised very important questions for the new generation of the young youths to know the true culture and also the academic experiences by exchanging the students and also faculty members in between and among the institutions of these two countries. I would say that, well, this was our priorities actually, because everywhere we have been talking about that how can we actually send our students to your universities, and how can we actually bring also your students or faculty members to come over here in Bangladesh to get some experience that what we do over there, and also over here we also want to share all of those things. So I think this is the first thing that we are going to step into, and obviously we will have some indigenous problems that we actually think that both Pakistan and Bangladesh and Bangladeshi and Pakistani universities can resolve those things through research, through collaboration, and through collaborative partnerships. So that's a great possibility we see. And Pakistan was generously offering many scholarships for Bangladeshi students, and I would like to, through this program, I would like to tell Bangladeshi students to even to look into that, what are the possibilities that are existing in Pakistani universities to come over here and pursue programs. And the same thing I would also like to say that, well, Bangladesh is also willing, and they are actually doing it with other countries, why not Pakistan? So we have been actually detached for many years in terms of many problems, but then again I would say that, well, a new journey has begun, and we are actually trying to see that, well, these two countries are not apart, and they have common things to share, and they are going to take this region in forward by engaging their future generation of the student.
That's the kind of collaborations I think both the countries do require as well. But Dr. Mohammad IQBAL Choudhury sir wanted to add over here, so sir, please go on.
You see, there's tremendous love between the people of two countries.
Indeed.
You go, you feel it in your heart. And I think we need to connect youth for sustainable linkages for the future also. So thousands of fellowships are now announced, and there's going to be a great mobility of of young people from Bangladesh to Pakistan and from Pakistan to Bangladesh, and that would eventually create linkages which goes into the future, inshallah, and we'll be able to create an atmosphere of permanent friendship which will last, inshallah, for the benefit of two nations.
And that's exactly that we would want to see, and that's how, you know, we really need to conduct all of these
Absolutely.
partnerships as well, indeed. But sir, there were certain memorandum of understandings which were being signed in universities within Lahore, within Islamabad, or probably in Karachi too as well. Can you please take us through those memorandum of understandings, and under what umbrella were those signed? You know, so if we are to speak about artificial intelligence, if we are to speak about finance, if we are to speak about what sort of advancements we will see within our education curriculum within universities, please go ahead, shed light on that.
So the delegation which is visiting us is extremely important because these are the top universities from Bangladesh, and top universities of Pakistan are now formally through an institutional mechanism linked together, and they are youth-centered program. They're centered around disrupting and emerging technologies. They're centered around solving problems which two countries are facing, and this is the reason that we consider these linkages extremely important for future, significant and historical.
But sir, I'm very sorry, but most of the time what happens is that, you know, when we see the MOUs in place, we never see the actual thing happening. So how do you ensure, you know, so may it be Bangladesh, may it be Pakistan, how do you think that both the countries will ensure that whatever memorandum of understandings are being signed by the both countries or the universities or the academia will actually be fulfilled? Let's get started.
Yeah, let me share the things that about this trip that I am having over here. We are actually very serious about actually in terms of realization, you know, realizing those MOUs. COMSTECH is actually working as a catalyst, and they are the one, they are actually supporting us in terms of any support and communications that we need with any STEM institutions of Pakistan, and they have connected in different institutions with us with understanding, you know, the strength of the universities are different also. There are certainly some institutions in Pakistan, they are very advanced in technology aspect, and we are talking about that how we are going to be able to set an AI and health center at North-South University in Bangladesh. And we are also in general thinking that, well, the general research in science and technology, both faculty and faculty-wise, which we are doing with other countries also. So why not Pakistan? Because I believe that, well, personally as an academics, I believe that knowledge is everywhere. Knowledge is there, here and there and everywhere. It is us that for our limitations, for our problem, we simply cannot connect and could not connect earlier. But I am sure that this time that we are going to strategize things in our side that, well, every single MOUs and every single possibilities that we have been able to experience through this journey of last couple of days in Pakistan, we are going to sort those things out and also strategize that, you know, in a way that which one we should do first and how should we actually do. I'm expecting a team of Pakistani academicians. They are going to go North-South University. In my university, we are going to host them, and also they are going to run 5 to 7 days of, you know, technology, you know, knowledge and other things. And I believe that, well, both countries has potential human resources, but it is us that we are not leveraging those potential human resources to exchange the knowledge and also to gain the knowledge and to disseminate the knowledge. That's what is the main target, that, well, jointly if Bangladesh and Pakistan works together, I'm sure that the academia itself is going to be benefited.
Exactly.
And our two
and that's
countries
exactly
are
what COMSTECH is doing as well. So sir, very quickly, because we only left with last 30 seconds or 1 minute or so. Please.
So COMSTECH is actually deploying science and education diplomacy between two countries, and things start already happening. So you would be pleased to know that 45 Bangladeshi students will be coming in next a month to Lahore, and about 100 are expected by the end of this year. They would be coming here, as well as the delegation of Pakistani vice chancellors will be visiting soon, inshallah, in Bangladesh.
I think that's wonderful. It's a wonderful initiative as well. But sir, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Abdul Hannan Choudhury.
Thank you very much.
आपको भी सलाम करता हूँ, और बांग्लादेश में मेरे जितने भाई बहन हैं पाकिस्तान की तरफ से मैं उनके लिए भी सलाम करता हूँ, और बहुत सारा प्यार.
Same for Pakistani brothers and sisters.
और हमारी तरफ से जपियाँ भी. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We all hug each other.
Exactly.
So much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Mohammad Iqbal
So
Choudhury
much.
Sahab, and
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for this wonderful initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be one of a kind partnership in between Bangladesh and Pakistan, where it's not just academic, it's scientific as well. And you know, Professor Saab has said it very rightly, and it has hit the nail on the head that we are rich in human resource and we need to leverage on it and we need to capitalize on it. And once we start to doing that, I think we will be countries which people will recognize for the development that they have brought in together due to the partnership of academic and the scientific partnership that we spoke about. Until next time, look after yourselves. Remember me and all of us in your prayers. We really need your prayers right now. And for everybody, thank you so much for bearing me. And I do know that I'm under the weather, I'm coughing and whatnot.
But it is
it's
still
true
so
dedication, ladies and
admirable
gentlemen.
how you conduct the show with such grace. Huh?
Exactly. So until next time, look after yourselves. It's a good morning. Bye-bye. Look after yourselves. Have a great Thursday. Bye.